Hey guys, welcome to CCxRC. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Furitek Wagon FX118 18th scale brushless ready to run crawler, mini crawler. First one on the market to do it with the brushless in a ready to run in the mini scale, you guys. Absolutely insane what they put into this. Lots of other upgrades as well on this that we're going to talk about in this video. And I say for 200 bucks, it's probably one of the best performing mini crawlers ready to run out of the box that you can get right now. Let's talk about it. Alright, you guys, we've already been driving this for about 2 weeks. Furitek sent this to us early to get some review footage and kind of get a video out for you when they first announce it. And I'm super impressed with it. That's what I'm going to say right off the bat. The paint job on this is second to none in my opinion. I love green. The Fleck paint that they've got in here, it just shimmers and shines and it looks like $1,000,000. They've got it in this green, they've got a red one, a blue one with flames on the hood, and a black one with flames on the hood that look equally as awesome. But I'm a green guy. I like the green, so I'm very partial to this. This thing has a lot of upgrades to talk about. We're going to be putting it in the little light box here, show you guys some of the details up close. Aluminum chassis, oil-filled shocks, decent tires. But I do want to, before we get in there and things are tight, I want to just kind of show it compared to some other vehicles. So wheelbase-wise, if you put them, stack them, you can pretty much use bodies from other 18th scale vehicles and they'll fit on. And many of you will notice it says Hobby Plus on the back of it and on the chassis. It's stamped in there. It does resemble this Harvest, like the CR18P from Hobby Plus. This is the Fury Wagon from Furitek. There are differences. Bumpers are different. It does this one, the Furitek comes with the servo mounted up underneath on the axle. In there you can see the bar, the steering links right there going to the servo. This one has a chassis mounted servo. You get a little bit more bump steer and some different things, higher weight with that. This also has fenders, like wheel wells that stick out and protrude. This is a much more aggressive off-road kind of look to it. The lights work on this one out of the box. And yeah, but other things from the stamp are very similar, so you will notice that. Axles, for the most part, being the same. This comes with metal gears in the transmission, metal gears in the portals, metal gears in the diffs, and so they've gone all out with all of that for you guys. It's actually really awesome and insane. Aluminum chassis, so lots of mounting options. We'll show that in a little bit. I do have one kind of negative about that, which we'll talk about, and I do want to let you guys know I'm a connoisseur of YouTube in reviews as well as you guys, so I like to know when somebody gets something from a company, and you know, it just helps when you know, like, kind of is thinking, oh, well, they paid their money for it or they got it for review. This was sent to me by Furitek. I have been doing Furitek stuff for a long time. I sell Furitek parts. I really like the Furitek stuff. I get behind it as a company. I think what they're doing for the mini world is insane. So that, I just want to get that right out of the way. Everything that I'm saying on here, I'm not being paid to make this video. I'm just a reviewer on YouTube, guys, and like, we're just getting into disc golf. I like to know when people are sponsored or whatever and they're talking about things. Most of it's tips, techniques, whatever. They may kind of flavor in the company's discs that they are sponsored by. So just being in all fairness to you, I want to make that very clear to you guys. This was sent to me. I'm not sponsored by Furitek or anything else like that. I do sell their products. I believe in their products, and so that will come through in here. But I do have some things that I do want to point out about this. It's mostly positive, but there's a few things that, you know, I just want to raise kind of awareness for you on, because it's things that I noticed as I was driving it. We have driving footage for you. But wheelbase is the same as the TRX 4M, and also like the Gladiator. I've got one here. Wheelbase pretty much the same, so you could try to mount the body on. It would look a little weird. Everything else is scaled proportionately a little bit bigger on this, so I don't know that you'd want to do that. It just would look, I think it looks small on the chassis in general. But there's a lot of 18 scale stuff out there for you guys now. If you did want to try different bodies, you could do the rock van or different things from Hobby Plus. But let's get this top off of here. Let's show you what's inside. Let's talk about some of the run footage, because this thing drives really, really good. One of the best driving out of the box 18 scale. Is the best driving out of the box 18 scale. That's what I'll say. I'll just go out and say it. Best driving one right here that I've had out of the box as far as experience. And we'll talk about some of the reasons why. And the one hiccup that I did find with it. Alright, you guys, you can see how good this thing looks under the lights. You can see a little bit of that Fleck paint job in here, just very sparkly. The stickers, everything look good on here. Taking off the body, we see the aluminum chassis, chamfered edges on it, just the little attentions to detail that they've gone and done. You can see the Hobby Plus logo on there as well, with the Furitek logo. These are oil-filled shocks right here, and they just, when you set this truck down and it just kind of settles in, it's just so nice. It's just so plush. Right out of the box, and that's one of my favorite things. The articulation is not too crazy, but it's almost a full wheel, just about 3/4 or just a bit above of the wheel in the rear, which I think is plenty enough. And actually for comping and performance, it's like right on par with where I want it to be. Nice low center of gravity with this chassis, LCG chassis. Lots of shock tuning options as far as angles, all of that you've got here right out of the box. The tires themselves do have foams in them, and they perform really well for a stock tire, I find. So very impressed with that. Looking up here, we're going to see the Venom branded Furitek Outrunner brushless motor right in there, as you can see right there. It'll focus, there we go. The battery, not my favorite type of connector. It is a 600 milliamp hour battery, so I do like that about it as far as the size of it. Lots of runtime on it. And if you want to change it, because it is just a Lizard Pro, you can actually unplug it from the back here, and you could change out the type of connector that's running on it there. I'm not getting the angles right for you guys, but right there you can see you could unplug that. There's a little on-off switch here for your Lizard Pro to be able to power it on. I've just got the battery connected in here, so it would power on if I were to do it. Nice multi-channel receiver in here for the radio. The radio is one that we've seen come with some other vehicles in the past. FMS has used this, Hobby Plus has used this. I actually had turned down my throttle dual rates on here to just get a little bit more smoothness, but then I also found that it's Bluetooth, because of Lizard Pro you can just do the throttle curve in their app, and that's a pretty cool feature as well, is being able to get this thing dialed in using the app that they make. And that's one of the cool things about the electronics that Furitek comes out with, is on the fly being able to do that. I do also like I can one-handed drive it very, very easily, and everything is right there to be able to see. Throttle trim, steering dual rates, throttle dual rates, and then your drag brake kind of stuff up here, settings. I don't know what they have them actually tuned to here, because we didn't get a manual for it, so that's hopefully something we'll find out. I did not mess with that, because we can do it all in the app again. Not necessary, just left it exactly how they sent it. It's something that we'll hopefully be finding out here soon and shortly. But you can see the chassis here, and that's one of the things that I kind of want to talk a little bit about. This thing performs so well, got over so many cool obstacles, really smooth, great low end power, great speed. I will say that I did high center on a lot of things. Now, I typically run much shorter trucks. I run a CCx24, and so the wheelbase on that is considerably shorter, and so being able to hang up on the middle of this is not nearly as easy. But that said, this is a longer wheelbase to get hung up on, but it also kind of bumps up right here where the links go in, and I don't know if those are hanging. They're definitely getting some scratches on them, but I also feel like this really long low center part of this chassis, it runs so much further in order to get in this link, and that upper link then because of this mounting point, makes this chassis stay very low for a long time, and I feel like this grabs on some stuff. I'm not 100% on that, but I've just noticed that I grab a lot on things, and I wonder if this chassis being so long has anything to do with that. For reference, it is very similar to the one from Hobby Plus, but it definitely seems to, I would say it's pretty similar, honestly. It does stick out a little bit further in the back here, it looks like, if I were to measure it, and even in the front. So it looks like it's just a little bit longer on that bottom part than the Hobby Plus counterpart of this, very similar in the Harvest. So I don't know if that's actually what's causing it, or if it's just the wider gap here that I'm not used to when I'm setting up objects, which very much could be what is happening. So not only is the skid plate grip, but the chassis itself. Yeah, keep hanging up on it. I do like that it's an actual 4-link, so that's nice. Everything sits pretty nice and parallel and works pretty good, again, with the articulation, all that. The transmission is just a single speed, and then it does have that extra output shaft, which we saw in the Hobby Plus as well. Plastic drive shafts, plastic casings and stuff like that, plastic links. But what you're really getting out of this is a high performance, really well built. It is low center of gravity, so it does work really good for that. I haven't really noticed too much issue with the battery location where it is. I like that the servo's mounted to the front, and you can do more upgrades, you guys. You can change out your servos if you want a higher powered servo. You can change out your wheels if you want to put brass wheels on, add some more weight down low. Lots of things that you can do, but I'll tell you what, out of the box, dollar for dollar, it is the best performing Mini that I have, and I'm very impressed with what they came up with. So there it is with the lights on, you guys. You can get that really super creeping slow power for this thing with that outrunner motor. Just lots of creep, lots of power, even keeping the FOC to just maintain speed as you're hitting an obstacle. Absolutely fantastic. Look at that slow creep. That's where the power comes from, is that thing rotating at a high speed while the tires and wheels are just creeping. So much power. Anyway, you guys, found this to be just an absolute awesome crawler. Compared to anything out of the box, this thing will crawl and look like a competition truck straight out of the box, where any of the other ones need a ton of upgrades and actually need a lot of Furitek components thrown at it in order to work like this does. So anyway, guys, I hope this helps you out if you're looking at a new crawler or looking to get into the mini game. I think this is going to take the 18 scale to a whole new level, especially in the comp scene, and I'm really excited about that. And I thank you guys for tuning in as always. Have fun RCing, guys.